P. Diddy has been sentenced to 4 years and 2 months in federal prison for transportation and prostitution. All right, we're going to get a breakdown. We're going to go through this step by step, starting with the morning of and the day before. All right, now we did have people writing letters to the judge, Diddy being one of them. Let's start with Diddy's letter to the judge the day before. Now, it is lengthy. We will not read all of it, but let's tap in on some of this. Every day since my incarceration, as difficult as my circumstances currently are, I have made the best of my time by reading books, writing, working out, or in therapy, obtaining the tools and knowledge to deal with my past drug abuse and anger issues. I have been putting in the work and working diligently to become the best version of myself to ensure that I never make the same mistakes again. I realize that I'm in a situation where no amount of money, power, or fame can save me. Only God can save me. My grandmama used to teach me that God makes no mistakes and that everything he does is for your good. I believe that a bad situation can be used for good. Although this situation has been the hardest and darkest time in my life. Good things have come out of my incarceration, though. For starters, I'm now sober for the first time in 25 years. I have been trying my best to deal with my drug abuse and anger issues and take accountability as well as positive steps towards healing. One of the most beautiful things I have experienced is being asked by my fellow inmates to teach and mentor them. They wanted to learn what I did to become a successful businessman. I was inspired by their hunger and desire to learn information in order to not only set goals, but achieve any goal, dream that their heart desires. I started teaching a 6-week program called Free Game, which I was able to have approved and sanctioned by the Bureau of Prisons. I don't just teach about my success, I also teach about my mistakes and failures. I ask you for mercy today, not only for my sake, but for the sake of my children. God bless me with 7 beautiful children, 3 sons, 4 daughters. Their names are Quincy, Justin, Christian, Chance, Jesse, Delilah, and the newest addition, a 2-year-old daughter, Love. 4 of my children lost their mother, God bless. Kim Porter, as she tragically passed away in 2018. I'm their only parent. I have failed my children as a father. My father was murdered when I was 3 years old, so I know firsthand what it is to not have a father. Oh Lord, let me tell you, Diddy was piling it on, okay? Nah, let me give Diddy some claps. Diddy was cooking. Diddy had this shit cooking. I think we are getting the gist of this letter to the judge, all right? He wanted mercy. He wanted the judge to consider all the things he's been through, all the things he's bringing to the community and his family, all right? He wanted the judge to think about all these things. Not only that, before he was sentenced, he addressed the court one more time. Let's see what he had to say in court before being sentenced. I've been there. No. I'm sorry. That's his lawyer. Here we go. Sean Combs stands at defense table. He says, one of the hardest things I've had to handle has been having to be quiet and not express how sorry I am for my actions. I don't take that lightly. I would like to apologize to Cassie Ventura and her family. I apologize to Jane for bringing you into my mess. I would like to apologize to the victims of domestic violence. I know that disgusting video triggered people. I was sick from the drugs. I needed help, but I didn't get the help. I knew better. My faith taught me better. I'm not this larger than life person. I'm just a human being. I'm trying my best. I lost my freedom and the opportunity to raise my children and be there for my mother. I lost all my businesses. I hate myself right now. I've been stripped down to nothing. I want to apologize to my 7 children. I'm so sorry. You deserve better. To my mother, I feel you taught me better. I let down my community. I wanted to show we could come together and take care of our own problems. I got lost in the sauce. I'm not this bad person. I'm sorry to my community. I let y'all down. People can change. I know I've changed. Sometimes you have to go through life experiences, getting semen rubbed on your nipples, even though there are no excuses. I can't change the past, but I can change the future. I beg your honor for mercy to be a father again, to be a son again, a leader in my community again, to get the help I need. Man, one more time for this. God damn, one more time for this. Now, during the sentencing, the sketch artist was in their bag. We got these sketches. Diddy seems very distraught, horrified right here if you ask me. Horrified. We got, hold on. Now, Diddy's lawyer also spoke. I have been there when Sean has prayed for healing for anyone he has heard. It is now 12 months and 17 days in MDC. There are certain people who gain prestige if they hurt him. The guard stopped the man with a shank.
What?
He eats out of bags, chips. Now, they did try to throw this last minute Hail Mary just in case what they had done already was not enough. They tried to say Diddy was a man attempted to shank Diddy while being incarcerated, okay? Now, family, what happens next is crazy. Diddy was sentenced to 4 years and 2 months in federal prison, also fined $500,000. Family, when he got the news, the man broke down to his knees when the laws came. God damn. He literally did the meme. Family, do y'all know what I'm talking about? Hold on, let me find the meme. The man literally did the meme. Fell down to my knees. Family. Hold on. Family. Hold on. You know what I gotta do? Nah, that's too much. I gotta find it on Twitter. Let me find it on Twitter. Oh, here we go. Family. Have y'all seen this meme before? Do y'all know this song? Diddy literally fell down to his knees when the laws came. God damn. Yo, the irony is Dirk is currently locked up in federal prison as well. So Diddy currently being locked up for 4 years. I'm so sorry. I did jump the gun. Now, I spoke about people writing letters to the judge before the sentencing. Family, I forgot to read 50s, aka Ferrari F50. 50 Cent wrote a letter to the judge in Diddy's case. He says, "Dear Judge, I have had an ongoing dispute with Puffy over 20 years. He is very dangerous. Multiple times I have feared for my life. I think you should consider the safety of the general public, Your Honor, before unleashing him upon the public. There has been enough time for him to reform. There hasn't been enough time for him to reform or make any adjustments." Oh, hell no. This nigga, man, listen. Diddy, when you get out, you got to shoot this nigga. I ain't gonna lie to you, Diddy. You got to put a bullet in 50. You got to give this nigga the 10th. I see why this nigga got hit 9 times. I ain't gonna lie to you. Damn. Yo, family, Diddy, reminds you, is in his mid-50s. These 4 years will see Diddy closer to 60 when he's released from prison. Imagine a man who is a multi-millionaire working to his billion club, speaking about 50, having enough time
Today I got time, cuz.
to write a judge a letter to do everything he can to keep your black ass locked up. This is Diddy's level of petty. It's almost sickening. It's almost sickening. I would never make him my op. I promise you that. All right? Let me read some more of this. There hasn't been enough time for him to reform or make any adjustments despite him trying to teach a class in there. As you are already aware, the government has spent the maximum amount of money on deploying federal agencies, which appear to be an army in two locations simultaneously. Later, his sons, who's dealing with his own grape allegations, claimed that the feds had hit the wrong house. Oh, hell no, 52. Yo, y'all do know that song that Christian Combs dropped. He did say the feds hit the wrong house. 50 was sure to remind the judge. Okay. Anyway, Diddy's only going to return to hiring more male sex workers and keeping most of the baby oil away from the general public, and babies need it. My Netflix doc on this scandalous subject is coming soon. Yo, this nigga 50, man, literally wrote a letter to the judge. This nigga 50, bruh, he's just the pettiest nigga to ever live. I'm not gonna lie to you. All right, so we saw the photos of Diddy, but there is some hope for Diddy now. His son spoke as well. Oh, family, I'm so out of order. Oh my God. This video was dropped before the sentencing as well. So Diddy's team gave the courts damn near a 12-minute video to review, just showing the life of Diddy, what he's been missing, what's been going on, showing him being a good father. You know, they're trying to show this man has, redeeming quality.
You hear me? You inspire, you energize, and you've left that for the rest of the existence of this planet, man.
One thing about great producers is they make you want to do better and be better about what you do. And he made me feel like I could do anything and go anywhere.
From New York. I love New York. I love the city of New York. I love the children of New York. I wanted to do something good. I wanted to get my generation in the hip-hop community behind us. They come through in a big way. And we wanted to raise some money for the children of New York City for health and education. We have a huge education crisis. And, this is just a start. It's something we're going to be committed to. I'm going to be committed to for a lifetime. And it's no better way than taking it to the streets. It's a beautiful city running.
Now, the truth is this. Diddy has done a lot of good things. He has done some shitty things, but he's also done a lot of great things, most like every human. We all got some skeletons in our closet, and we've all probably tried to do things to rectify those skeletons. Now, this was crazy. One thing that got Diddy in some trouble was that Diddy allegedly booked a speaking engagement for next week. Let's check this out. Now, the story is this. AUSA, which of course is the feds in this case, stated Mr. Combs has booked speaking engagements for Miami for next week. This is the height of hubris. He did this for 15 years. He was responsible for transporting many escorts. That's a lot of freak-offs and a lot of hotel nights. He knew it was illegal. Family, I'm not going to lie to you. I can see this two ways. I can see him booking a speaking engagement and the most positive thinking he could have, right? Hey, listen, we perfectly again. Now, this week, I'll have this set up for next week. We get to rolling back into real life because a part of you wants to believe I'm about to be released from prison, the feds. I want to go home. Let's start getting life back to what it was. But on the other hand, I can also see this as we just beat the RICO. I only am charged for transportation of prostitution. They're not going to give a first-time offender the book for these charges. So there's a good chance I could go home and it could look a little insensitive, as if I know you guys are letting me off and I'm getting my life back to going. Okay? I can understand that as well. But I'm going to be honest. If you ask me, Diddy was overcharged. Family, the man got charged with transportation of prostitution and they gave him 4 years and 2 months. He's already done 1 year. Let's get a quick synopsis of this. Diddy 4-year sentence. Now, there is hope for Diddy, and we're going to get into that. Let me see here. Let me check one thing out real quick. All right. Okay. Let's go through this. All right. What we got? Okay. Sean Diddy Combs' empire was upended when former girlfriend and protege Cassie accused him of ex-trafficking and physical abuse, setting off a torrent of civil lawsuits and a federal investigation that led to a criminal trial. Nearly 2 years after the first lawsuit, the music mogul has learned his legal fate. Combs was sentenced to 50 months, roughly 4 years in prison, after a hearing in Manhattan Court on October 3rd. U.S. District Court Judge Arun Sumarian issued the ruling 3 months after Combs was convicted in his federal sex crimes case. Ahead of sentencing, Combs' legal teams has recommended Sumarian hand down 14 months of prison time, while prosecutors sought an 11-year sentence during the hearing. The judge said he agreed with probation officers that federal guidelines called for a sentence between 5.5 years and 7.5 years, but he also said the guidelines were merely advisory. It was an emotional day for Combs, who had been held in custody at Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center, also known as MDC, as well as his tight-knit family. 6 of Diddy's 7 children spoke through tears in support of their father, and of the Combs defense, attorneys broke down crying as she recounted how inspiring she thought he was. Let's see here. Despite efforts by Combs' attorneys to reframe his behavior as an eccentric sexual lifestyle, one involving transporting people across state lines for consensual sex, the judge said during the October 3rd hearing that the narrative was flatly inconsistent with both reality and any acceptance of responsibility. Combs' ex-girlfriend, R&B singer Cassandra Cassie Ventura, and the anonymous Jane spent multiple grueling days on the stand as times defined as they were. Okay, a lot of reading for us to essentially get Diddy charged with 2 counts of transportation and prostitution, equaling out to 4.5 years. Not 4.5, 50 months, 4 years and 2 months. Now, real quick, let's speak about this, because of course they are going to appeal this decision, and academics, who is close to people in this case, uploaded this yesterday from his Twitter. Now, academic states, if Diddy qualifies for the RDAP program, his 50-month sentence would qualify him. If Diddy qualifies for the RDAP program, his 50-month sentence would qualify him for a 4-year off the existing 85%, which is 29 months when you minus time served. So given that, 17 months, meaning in about a year, he'll be transferred to a halfway house most likely. Now, he said this, but he also came back after that and stated this. Realistically, Diddy finna spend back in 2027, 2028. I actually said that first too. So my final thoughts on this currently, Diddy, I don't feel like Diddy's been sentenced for what he's currently done. I feel like he's been sentenced for past crimes. I feel like he's been sentenced for I feel like he's been sentenced for the feds having to take this much time, or being sentenced this harshly for the feds having to take this much time as they did with the courts, the trial, everything included. But do I think Diddy's going to actually sit 4 years? I truly don't. I do feel like Diddy will find some way out before 4 years, fam. I feel like 4 years for transportation of prostitution. Let's even look at this. Federal charges for transportation and prostitution. Let's see something real quick. Let me see. I want to know how much time. Let's see. And actually, what is this? Nah, that ain't what we're looking for. I just want to know how much time transportation of prostitution typically carries. What is this? All right. Let's see what this is. And for the 5 counts were as follows. Okay, that's what he was charged for. That's not what he got charged. What is the jail time for transportation for prostitution? The maximum sentence for transportation for prostitution is 10 years in prison. Oh, wow. Federal prosecutors said they would seek the maximum of 20 years altogether for the 2 charges on which he was found guilty. So if per charge carries 10 years, I guess that would be him getting 2 years per charge, giving him 4 years. Okay. All right. So again, family, my final thoughts on this. I do feel like Diddy will be put in some type of program that will help. You got to remember, this is Diddy's first offense. So I do feel like there are some programs that will help Diddy out. And I don't think Diddy will sit those 4.5 years. I don't think we get Diddy back in 2026, but I do think possibly 2027 we get Diddy back. Okay.